Hey there, and welcome to episode 2 of After the Facts. Actually, I'll just call this After the Facts, UFC Fight Night, Hall versus Silva. So it was an exciting night, one that I was really glad to work, but obviously it was kind of sentimental being there for Anderson Silva's last fight. He's somebody who, was one of the first superstars I ever got to interview in the UFC. The first time I talked to him was the open workouts before he fought Vitor, and I was so nervous. And he was so great. And over the years, he's just been wonderful to me all the time. So I thank him and I say, best of luck and all of that. But congratulations to Uriah Hall. This was a huge victory for him. This is somebody I've also really liked since I got to meet him and very first time. And he's Jamaican too. My mom's Jamaican. So there's a bond there and really happy for him. I know it was a big deal for him to fight his idol. But so we want to go through some of the facts and figures. These are the things that we learned tonight. And maybe going into it. So one of the things first and foremost that you should know about Anderson Silva, we talk about the fact that he is going to be in the Hall of Fame, and that's a no-brainer, really. But some of you may not know that he had 10 title defenses. He held the belt for 2,457 days. He had 11 title defenses, so that's the fourth most in UFC history. And he had a 16-fight win streak, and that is the longest it's in UFC history. And he actually has a 3-fight lead over the next closest person. But we know it didn't go his way tonight. It actually did go Uriah Hall's way. And folks were asking me on the first episode if I could have some graphics. Here you go. Here's a graphic for you. For the most middleweight knockouts now, Uriah Hall is up there. So he got his 7th knockout. And so with 8 knockouts, we have Anderson Silva and Thiago Santos. He was a middleweight before he went up to light heavyweight. So now with 7 knockouts, you have Uriah Hall, Michael Bisping, Derek Brunson, Chris Lieben, and Yoel Romero. So there is your fancy graphics there on the most middleweight knockouts. But congratulations to Uriah in that one. And if you're curious what the judging was going on in that one, Anderson actually took the cards on all 3 judges, so he swept the first round, and then one judge gave Anderson round 2 as well. The others gave it to Uriah, and then Uriah took over with the next one, and then we know that he got the finish in the 4th round. So congratulations to Uriah Hall in that one. So now let's talk about our co-main event. This one was Bryce Mitchell and Andre Fili. So Bryce Mitchell did win the fight by unanimous decision. One judge did give round 2 to Andre Fili. Otherwise, the judging all went to Bryce Mitchell. So basically a sweep for him, except for one judge giving round 2 to Andre Fili. It was a good win for Bryce. I know he was frustrated. He said afterwards in the interview that he broke his hand in the fight, and that's why he wasn't able to do as much with it as he had hoped to. But I was still pretty impressed with his striking. And so for somebody with a broken hand, I believe it was his left hand, because he was holding the interview with his right hand holding the microphone in his right hand. So I believe it's his left, but hopefully Bryce heals up. And as you saw, he was in the camo shorts that Reebok made for him. So that was very exciting. So you're wondering, hey, KB, Bryce is on a win streak. How long is that? Well, it's funny that you should ask, because when we talk about the longest active win streaks in the featherweight division, Bryce is now up there setting some records. So with a 7-fight win streak, we do have the champion Alexander Volkanovski, and then also Arnold Allen has 7 wins in the featherweight division. But with 6-win streak, you've got Zabit Magomedsharipov. Now with 5 wins, you've got Bryce and Hakeem Dawodu. So those are the longest active win streaks in the featherweight division. The champ with 7 and Bryce now with 5. He was number 15 coming into this fight. So hopefully he'll be getting some higher competition. I mean, Andre Fili is a guy that's a great competition. He has fought, Yair Rodriguez and Calvin Kattar and Max Holloway. So being in there with Andre was obviously a really big challenge, even though he's not ranked in the top 15. So a great win for Bryce Mitchell. And good for him rocking the shorts. Okay, so one of the other things tonight that went down in the record books is Kevin Holland. He's the first fighter really, to get to 4 wins in 2020. Bobby Green was also trying to get there. He had 3 wins already this year, but he did not win. He lost his fight to Thiago Moises, but Kevin Holland did win his fight, so he's the first fighter to 4 victories in 2020, and we do know that Charlie Ontiveros actually had a verbal submission. He said he heard something in his neck pop, or felt something in his neck pop, which is definitely very scary, but afterwards he was able to feel and wiggle all of his extremities, so he was taken to the hospital, but that's precautionary. Everything that we heard on the night of here is that he was okay. But Kevin Holland, the first to 4 wins, and Kevin Holland did pick up a bonus as well, so that's $50,000 extra for him. The other bonuses went to Alexander Hernandez, who was victorious in the featured prelim over Chris Grismacher, and Adrian Yanez got a bonus, as did Johns in our first fight. So Miles Johns got one as well. And Miles Johns and Yanez and Kevin Holland and Greg Hardy and Thiago Moises and Dustin Jacoby are all Dana White Contender Series alums, and they were all victorious. So it's a card with 6 alums, and they all were victorious tonight here. So yeah, so I believe that's the numbers for you. Those are after the facts here for Hall versus Silva. Thanks for checking it out. See you on the next one.